everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily crochet around an everyday headband. And you could use this as a base for another project. You could add some appliques or some flowers or what have you in there. But I'm going to show you just how to easily work some stitches around a headband. And then this makes a really wonderful headband just to wear by itself. Or again, you could add some fun things to it as well. So let's get started. For this project, you'll need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, you'll need a headband. Now it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just make sure it's got some smoothness to it. Now this one is covered in some kind of fabric, but it doesn't have to be. I just would avoid things that have a lot of texture on them or maybe like a scalloped edge. Just nice straight sides that's smooth is going to be the easiest thing to crochet around. We're going to be using Red Heart Super Saver for this. Now you can really use any yarn you like, and the best guideline is to just try to use the recommended hook size. Now this recommends the 5.5mm eye crochet hook, which is what we use for this. I'm going to be using the Grenadine colorway, but you can really use any kind of yarn. You could use bulkier yarns too. It's totally up to you. All right, so let's grab our headband and kind of slide everything else out of the way. The first thing we want to do is tie the yarn onto the end of our headband here and just try to do the best you can. It can be a little awkward with tying it on, but just try to tie it down towards the bottom like that, okay? Now we're going to take this tail and we're going to hold it up along the edge of our headband. And then what we can do is grab your yarn, and we're going to, when we crochet with this, it's a little weird to crochet around something at first, but you'll get the hang of it after a few stitches. But the first thing we want to do, we're going to be working single crochet stitches around this entire headband. But what we can do is go up under our headband and kind of grab the yarn and bring it up like this to make our first little loop, okay? Then we're going to wrap the yarn around the hook and bring it through, okay? And then you want to keep everything nice and snug up against the headband. If you need to like tighten it up a little bit, that's okay. Now, you're going to go back up under, scoop up the yarn, bring it up. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. And then snug it up against the headband if you need to. We're still holding that tail along the edge here so we can weave it in as we go. If that is too much to deal with though at once, try weaving it in later, okay? We'll also have another tail to weave in later. Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna take our hook, come up behind the headband, scoop it up, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. Now if you notice I have some yellow showing through, that's okay. I chose these bright colors on purpose so that you could see everything. If you're worried about it, maybe pick something, a headband and yarn that kind of is more matching to one another, but I did want you to see everything in bright colors. So every so often you want to push your stitches together a little bit, and that will hide some of that headband showing through, okay? Tighten it up, snug it up. Now let's keep going. Take your hook, come up from behind, reach up, scoop up that yarn, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. And then you might want to like push it up. You can do it every few stitches, you can do it every stitch, it's up to you. All right, let's pick up a little bit of speed with our headband here, okay? Bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. Bring it back up, scoop up that yarn, yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. I'm going to stop holding my tail now. It's just peeking through. We can give it a little trim later if we need to. Get a little bit more yarn off my skein here. Okay, let's keep going. Come back around, bring up a loop, yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. Okay, just like that. Keep going with that. Just keep adding more and more stitches around your headband. Sliding things down. See how there's some yellow showing? You can stop every so often and just sort of like snug everything together. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Let's work a few more stitches together and then we'll continue around our headband, and then in just a moment we'll rejoin and I'm going to show you how to finish all this off. Okay? So just keep going around and around with your headband. Keep everything nice and snug so it looks uniform. Okay. And then every so often, you can see that yellow popping through. Just slide all those stitches together, okay? Just get it nice and tight and snug. Now, see this guy sticking out? We can pull him a little bit. Give that a trim and keep going, okay? All right, I'm going to continue working some more stitches around my headband, and then when we rejoin, I'm going to show you how to finish everything off. So I've continued all the way around, and you can see we got some stuff to kind of straighten out in a minute, but what we want to do is cut the yarn. Now you can absolutely, when you start and finish, kind of go around these ends, but I don't mind the ends so much. It's up to you, really. So I just did the last stitch, and then I'm going to wrap the yarn around the hook and fasten off. Just pull that through. And then what you'll want to do is just get, see these stitches? It creates like a little ridge at the top. You'll just want to sort of like straighten those out all the way around. As you hold this and manipulate it and crochet and everything, it kind of gets a little twisty. Okay, so then you can take your needle, your tapestry needle, and just take it and kind of send it up through the headband, that little tail. You don't have to go too far. Just kind of work it in there the best you can. It's a little snug. That's a good thing though, so that means everything's going to stay put. Actually, let's take it this way. Just kind of work it in there. This first one is kind of snug. There we go. Okay, just take it into a few stitches and then just pull it up there, pull it through, and then snip. And then you can kind of straighten it all out, slide things around, just make sure that headband's not showing through. And you can wear it with the stitches side out, or if you flip it over, it's nice and smooth looking. It almost looks just yarn wrapped. Okay, now if you're having trouble with the yarn sliding around, you can put a little dot of hot glue here on either end just to kind of tack it in place so it doesn't move. That's actually, I do recommend that, especially if it's going to get a lot of wear. You don't want it to fall off and then it'll totally unravel. So just try putting a little dot of hot glue on either side, and that'll keep everything nice and just let it all stay put. Okay, so that is how you crochet around a headband. Super easy, and again, if you wanted to cover those, you could too. I'm okay with it like this. A lot of store-bought headbands are like this as well, but you could also take your yarn over it. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again!